Hello there ladies, gentlemen and all variations thereupon. If I seem slightly frustrated or tired today, it's because I just had a project that didn't quite go to plan, and I've also not been getting very much sleep. The reason being that my curtains are rather thin, but when my lease is up I'm planning on buying a house, so I'm not going to change the curtains. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to create for myself a face mask. And I'm taking apart my embroidery because this is going to be a template material. Just some scrap cotton. And for the actual face mask I'm going to use the remnants of the velvet I used for the baby shoes. So it's an improvised project, it's just using the scrap that I've got left over. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is to measure out the shape and size that I'm going to need for the face mask. And to do that, what I'm going to do is use my glasses. See, my glasses, I know, cover the shape of my eyes. So if I go slightly larger than that, I should be able to create something which goes around enough of my face to be able to block out the light. So I'm just going to place the glasses down somewhere. This is the scrap material, so it doesn't have to be accurate. Probably not want to go that high on the nose, but that's the sort of shape that's going to cover my face. So now I'm just going to cut it out by using the circular cutter. I'm just going to go about 1 centimetre or a little bit more around the edge of that, because it will be much easier to take away material. No matter how hard you press with a circular cutter, there's always bits left over. Okay, and that's the template. So now just go and compare this to my actual face and see where we stand. Okay, so it feels alright. I might need an extra slit up the middle of the nose just to allow it to sit more flush against the face. And there's the elastic's going to pull at the side, so I'm going to pull at the side also. And yeah, I can see a slight gap down there. But I think that might be enough to block out enough of the light. So might need to go slightly higher on this side, but that seems to be about the right size for the template. So the next thing I'm going to need is some elastic in order to hold the face mask in place. Now I don't want it too tight around my head, because if it's too tight it's going to be uncomfortable and I'm not going to be able to sleep. But at the same time I don't want it too loose, because if it's too loose then it's going to let light in or fall off, and then as soon as the morning comes I'm going to wake up with the sun again. Which in British summertime, which is coming up, it's going to be a pain in the backside because it's like 4:30 in the morning. So what I'm going to do is take a tape measure and measure around, let's take my glasses off, measure around the circumference of my face at the point where I want the elastic. Put my glasses back on. So I'm going to keep it around about that measurement, 55 centimetres, because I'm going to sew in the ends, which is going to tighten it a little, but I'm going to need to take out the distance of the face masks. So taking one of them, I'm just going to place it on the 55 mark at one end, see what the other side comes to, which is about 38 centimetres. So now I know if I cut an elastic to 38 centimetres and then attach it to the face mask, it should go around my whole head. So with that all pinned together, what I'll need to consider before sewing is where I'm going to turn it inside out, because I don't want that bit to be sewn up. And because I said I wanted to, I might need to slit the nose a little bit just to make it sit flush, I'm going to leave that bit blank, as in not sew that bit, and that's going to be the area where I do the turn. And if it happens that I need to make a slit there, then I can do the slit before I finally sew it and seal it up. I've got my machine set to a very tight zigzag stitch because, as you can see, velvet tends to want to fall apart, so a zigzag stitch will help prevent the shedding that it can do. Okay, so that was done. So I was trying to do the turn and I realised that by attaching the elastic when I did, I was going to end up with elastic on the inside of the face mask, which is useless. So I've cut the elastic off rather than undoing all the seams. I'm just going to continue the turn. And I'm going to finish that last bit by hand by folding it over and stitching it myself. For this, however, I'm just going to use the machine and sew directly back on. Okay, so in finishing this, what I'm doing is just a running back stitch with mostly running, very few back. And to hem it up, it's just a case of twisting the two sides that the raw edges are inside and it's facing each other. And then you're going to sew up. Well, there we have it. Is it brilliant? I don't know. It's a bit misshapen, I know that much, and I did make the mistake with the elastics, but it does fit and I can't see anything where I'm wearing it. It's quite soft, so I assume I'll only find out tonight, but it seems to be a functional face mask. So maybe tonight I'll be able to get a good night's sleep. So I'll leave it up to you, dear viewers. Do you think this was a failed attempt, or do you think this was passable? For me, this is good enough. You know, it's not perfect. Like I say, it is misshapen. It's not quite... That bit's pointed down. There's a bit there that's still sticking out and frayed. But it seems to work. So, good enough for me. But I'll leave it up to you. Put in the comments, do you think I failed, or do you think it's a good project? Did I win? Did I fail? I don't know. Well, I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully I'll be able to improve my sewing going forwards. Let me know if you have any sewing issues, or is it just me that's not very good at it? Anyway, see you when I see you.